The gavel cracked like thunder, silencing the murmurs in the packed courtroom. The HOA is hereby ordered to pay $250,000 in damages to the rightful owner of this neighborhood, the judge declared. Every head turned toward me. The man they'd spent years fining, threatening, and dragging through court. But now their smirks were gone, replaced by slack jaws and pale faces. They had just realized the truth. I didn't just beat their fines. I owned the very streets they walked on. And this was only the beginning. It all started 2 years ago when I bought a modest home in a quiet tree-lined community, or so I thought. The HOA welcomed me with a thick rulebook and fake smiles, but the trouble began when I refused to repaint my historic porch approved beige. What started as $200 fine snowballed into legal threats, harassment, and eventually a staggering $250,000 penalty they claimed I owed. They wanted to make an example out of me. What they didn't know was that I'd been digging into the neighborhood's property records, and I'd uncovered a secret that would flip the game. The fines came faster than I could read them. Overgrown grass, unapproved flowers, even the length of my curtains. They thought they were breaking me, but every notice they sent only fueled my determination. Late one night, buried in dusty county archives, I found it, a decades-old deed transfer showing the HOA's land leases had expired. The shocking part? The original landowner had quietly sold the rights to a shell company I now controlled. In legal terms, I wasn't just a homeowner anymore. I was the landlord for every single property in the neighborhood, and they had no clue. The HOA president, smug as ever, dragged me into court to make me pay once and for all. She had no idea I was carrying the trump card in my briefcase, the original deed and lease agreements notarized and ironclad. As she rattled off my so-called violations, I slid the documents across to the judge. His eyebrows shot up and the room went silent. Then he looked directly at her and said, "You've been collecting fines on property you don't even own." That was the moment her world and the HOA's began to crumble. The judge's ruling hit like a hammer blow. Every fine against me was void, and the HOA now owed me $250,000 in damages. But the real victory came later. When I sent letters to every homeowner explaining their new reality, I now owned the land beneath their houses, and the HOA had no authority left. The president resigned in disgrace, the board dissolved, and the neighborhood finally breathed free. As for me, I still walk those streets, not as a member, but as their landlord.